beautiful people, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Thandi Gama. Hello TG gang, welcome back. If you're not part of the TG gang, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button down below and you're immediately part of the family. So in today's video, we are creating this look. This is a stay home and glow with me makeup tutorial. I'm basically showing you how I got this glowy face, lips, eyes, everything that you need to know. I think this is the perfect time for you guys to learn how to master like an individual face, be if you're a learner, or up your skills if you've been doing makeup for a while. So hey, you have a good excuse to do your makeup in your pajamas. I would take that opportunity any given day. So without wasting any more of your time, let's definitely get into that video. But before we start, please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Thanks for coming. Okay, so to start, we are going to start off with our brows. I am going to be using the Precisely my brow pencil in the shade 4.5. I used to use shade number 5 and I went down the shade. Obviously my skin has moisturizer and all my serums, so it is a bit like sticky. So what I like to do is that I take my setting powder and I use a brush, and then I just set my brows with whatever setting powder you have. So I'm using the Mercier Translucent powder. Now when working on my brows, I like to concentrate, so I'm not gonna go through this, but if you guys would like to see how I do my brows, I think I have 2 videos up on my channel, so I will link them down below. Although I think I should update them because, you know, every day, every month you change how you do your brows, so I will do an updated video on my channel very soon. So I'm gonna be starting off with my brows, and you guys are just gonna watch me do one side, but I am not gonna talk through this. I will probably zoom in for you guys. So that's one done. I'm gonna do the other one and then clean them up both at the same time. So to brush up, I always just use the other end because it does come with a spoolie on one end. This pencil, for most people find this to be very pricey, but I definitely think it is worth the price. So I just want to show you guys how I clean up. So I'm going to be using the Infallible More Than Concealer. This is in the shade Honey, and this is most probably my favorite concealer at the moment. So I use an angled brush like this one. This I got from Newer Cosmetics. It was a gift a while ago, so it is like a Instagram place. Okay, let me concentrate. Once I have my concealer there, I'm going to take my brush and blend that down so that I don't have any harsh concealer lines. Okay, so now that we have our brows done, I am gonna take my MAC Pro Longwear paint pot, and this is gonna be the base for my eyeshadow. So I'm literally just gonna take a bit of this and just blend that out. This is in the shade Soft Ochre, so you can either get it at MAC after the lockdown or order it on Superbulous. They actually do sell makeup MAC products online. So yeah, that's like a good base. That's what it looks like. Now for eyeshadow, we are going to be taking the Jackie Aina and Anastasia. Let me show you guys my clean palette before you judge me. So here's a cleaner one. So we're going to be taking this one over here, this palette, to create one of my favorite go-to looks at the moment when it comes to just having a face beat for going on live or just doing some fun, creating fun content around the house. So we are going to take the shade Ginger. Ginger is this brown, it's this brown transition shade over here. This is very black girl friendly. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna use my 305 tapered blending brush. This brush is available at Decay. So if you're looking for good makeup brushes, I always recommend going to Decay. Those are beginner friendly, like everything is perfect. So we're gonna take this above your crease, right? And this brown shade, it's just a little, see, when it goes on, it does go a little bit darker than it looks in the palette. So we're gonna take this all the way down to our inner eye, but you're gonna be blending this out in circular motions. And what makes it easier with the blending brush is that you don't need to come back and blend this out again, because it is a blending brush, so it blends as you go. I honestly don't think there's ever been a better time to actually learn doing your makeup in pajamas than now. Every day, like, I wake up, I just shower. If I don't work out, like, I shower and I go into my next, like, PJs. That's all I do. And it's so comfortable working in them. Okay, so now that we've done this on one eye, we are immediately going to do this on the other eye. Okay, so on the outer corners of my eyes, I'm going to be going in with the shade Credit. So this one over here. It is a dark brown, a beautiful chocolate brown. So I'm just going to bring it in the corners, nowhere else. I'd love to leave the other inner corners nice and clean. I don't want that too dark because we are staying indoors, so you want to keep this nice and simple. So I'm going to do this on this side and the other side. Okay, so we're gonna leave that like that for now, and we are gonna come back to that shade, but we're gonna go back to the L'Oreal Infallible concealer, and we are gonna take that straight, like, angled brush again, and we are just gonna cut a semi-cut crease. You guys know this is obviously like my favorite thing to do because of my eye shape and how my eyelids are. So I'm gonna take this from the corner. I'm just gonna zoom in for you guys. Just gonna clean this up with my other brush just to make sure that that line is nice and straight. Now we are gonna go into our palette again. We're gonna take the shade Trust Issues. So I want you guys to notice something. This looks white on camera, but watch as I apply this. I don't know why it does that, but yeah, it does change color when you apply it. So when you apply it, this is what it looks like. This is the color. It's more of like a yellowish gold. So now we're gonna go back to that brown shade and we're gonna clean this up because we just want to make sure that the lines meet together and it just doesn't look like a quick job. Now we're gonna go in with our eyeliner. This is the Benefit Roller Liner. It's obviously in the shade black. We're just gonna create our winged liner. Now that we have our winged liner, we are now going to start with our face. So to start with our face, we are going to be priming, and for primer today, we are going to be using my favorite go-to, which is the Bobbi Brown Primer Plus Radiant. So this basically evens your skin tones and locks in whatever moisturizer you had put on your face. As you can see, like my face is still glowing at the moment because I still have like my moisturizer and serums on. So this just locks everything in and ensures that my skincare is doing what it needs to throughout the day, even though I've applied a layer of makeup. Okay, now that I have my primer on, I'm going back with my L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. So I'm going to take this under my eyes. I've mentioned this in a previous video. I actually prefer doing this under my eyes so that I don't have to have a layer of foundation underneath my eyes, because I feel like that just wears down your skin eventually. So as you get older, you don't want to weigh down like your eye area, because that causes sort of like bags or whatever the case may be. So the less you put under your eyes, the better. So we're just going to be using this concealer and we are going to blend it out with a brush. So I'm going to take my flat brush. I actually also prefer using brushes over a beauty blender. I just feel like this technique sort of works better for someone who has uneven skin tone, dark marks, enlarged pores. So I actually prefer this because this just gives off this flawless finish. So you're gonna blend that out and make sure you get all the way to your nose. Can you see how you're sort of defining your face already just by creating a highlight underneath your eye? And this is where you would mostly have bags or dark under eyes. So for foundation, I am going to be going in with my Fenty Pro Filter Foundation. This is in the shade 420. For those of you interested in getting foundation, the Fenty foundation in South Africa, you can get it off the Muse Beauty site. They do have a couple of shades, and the reason why I've been using this a lot is because I'm just trying to like finish it off. My sister got this at an airport, so I'm going to be using this dome brush to apply the foundation. You want to just make sure you meet where the concealer stops and you try and blend that out, but bring this down your neck as well. Now when I get to the top of my forehead, I like to take a brush and use the foundation to clean up my eyebrows. Obviously, because you want this to look nice and clean. So I'm going to be brightening my under eye with this Revlon Colorstay concealer. This is in the shade Cafe or number 65 for easy reference. So I'm just gonna go right here closer to my nose, so you're already sort of like naturally contouring your nose by doing this. Do you see how close that is to my nose? Okay, like that. And then we're gonna bring one stroke on the bridge of our nose. Like that. For this part, I am going to be using a beauty blender. I'm using the small sponge beauty blender just to blend this out. So I'm obviously going to start from the inner parts of my nose. Like I said, we are naturally contouring our nose as we go. And the reason why we're now using a beauty blender now is because we don't want the under eye area here to look like there's product buildup. So this makes it a bit more flawless. Make sure you go on the corners of your nose if you have like a nose like mine that has this deep pocket here. So after you've blended your nose, I like to use the leftover product just to blend my forehead. But because I see I have a little dark spot here, I'm just gonna add a little more. But just make sure you blend that out. Don't put too much on your forehead. Okay, that is perfect. Now we are going to contour our face. To contour our face, I'm going to be using the Revlon Colorstay. This is in the shade Espresso or number 80 for easy reference. So we're going to go from the side of our face. This is pretty much, we're now, because our face is round and we're trying to like sort of make it a bit sort of skinnier. You're gonna have these lines going down here. You're gonna do the same on this side, and I like to apply as I blend out. So I know I'm gonna still apply down here, but I want to blend this out first. So I'm going to be taking this contour brush from Real Techniques. You can get Real Techniques brushes from Dischem or Clicks. So what you will do is that you will sort of like go in circles, but you want to blend this upwards, bringing it higher into your cheek because you are... Can you see how you're shaping your face? Like look at this side of my face and look at that side versus this side. So you want to bring it higher, almost like you're creating a C here with your face. You're going to do the same on this side. Blend it out into circles. Firstly, bringing it higher into your cheek. Then the remainder of the brush, similar to a C, higher towards your face here. So we also naturally contouring there, but we don't want to have too much product, especially if you have your hair out. You want this to look as natural as possible. But if you had like a wig on where your hair was covering most of your face, you could put actual product here. But because this is our face and it's out there, you don't need to add additional product. Like the little that I put is enough to blend your whole entire face. Okay, there we go. There's a bit of shape now. So we're gonna go to the bottom of our jawline because we also want to give that a bit of shape. You want to just literally create 3 dots because a little bit of this concealer goes a long way, hey? So don't apply too much. Now when you're blending this time, you are going to bring it down your jaw because you are reducing this roundness at the bottom of your face. So bring it down your neck and make sure you blend all of that out. Now that our face looks like that, we are going to be setting our face. I'm going to be using the Mercier Translucent powder. So I'm just making sure that I get some on my cap here. There we go. I'm going to take that same beauty blending sponge and I'm gonna take the product and simply press that in. So I'm first gonna set and then just apply a little over just to bake the area. So the difference between setting and baking, when you set, you just put a little and you press it in. That's what I would recommend if you're someone with dry skin. Baking is when you leave a little bit more product over for you to dust off later. And that is highly recommended for someone that has oily skin. So if your makeup gets oily throughout the day, that's probably because you are not baking your face. So for everywhere else, I just like to set. I'm not going to be baking. I literally usually just bake under my eye because I prefer that remaining sort of dry throughout the day, but I like the luminous glow around my entire face. Okay, so now just to bring out that contour a little bit more, we are going to set this part of our face here like that. When you set this part of your face, you don't want it to bake, okay, because then you will have a harsh line. So after you've put the baking powder, you will take your powder brush, okay, and you're gonna take this in a circular motion and just dust all that off, and going over your contour as well, because the contour is creamy and you definitely want to set that, otherwise it will look oilier throughout the day. So we're going to do the same here, going in a circular motion, then going over the area where you contoured, and that's how you simply make. Okay, to set our contour, we're going to be using my 3 Steps to Sculpt palette. This is in the shade Deep. This is available at NYX standalone stores mostly, and I think a couple of Click stores should have this, but if you struggle, I would highly recommend you go straight to the standalone store. I know in Joburg we have one in Sandton and Fourways Mall. I don't know about everywhere else. But yeah, so where I contoured, that is where I like to set my contour. Okay, for my nose, I usually contour that with a totally different product because we don't want it to be too harsh. So I am obviously taking this Yardley setting powder. This is in the shade Melanin. So I am gonna take a bit of powder and I'm just gonna create a stroke on my nose and on this side, and we're gonna blend this out, connecting it to our inner brow bone over here. So you want it to meet something because it needs to have an end. So take it straight, drag it straight, don't stop here because it's gonna look very weird. So drag it and set the rest of your brow bone. You're gonna do the same on the other side. Another step people forget to do is to set their concealer under their brow. So I'm going to take the same brush, but I'm going to take my setting powder and I'm just going to tap this lightly under my brow to set my concealer that was there, because that area can also get oily if you don't set it. Okay, so our face is beginning to come together, right? You're going to take your brush. I'm just going to use the same brush that I used to apply my glitter shade, but I'm going to take Credit and I'm going to be smudging this under my waterline. Okay, I'm still going to be taking Trust Issues and making sure that it connects from my inner corner to my waterline there, like that. And I am gonna be going in with the eyeliner now. For eyeliner, I use a black liner. This is from a Revlon. The shade is So Fierce. What do they call this color? This color is called Midnight Mystery. So it's basically black, but a bougie black shade. Okay, can you see the difference between this eye and this eye. So this obviously has eyeliner and my line at the top, and this doesn't. So eyeliner makes a whole load of a difference. Okay, so now I'm just quickly gonna apply my lashes for you guys off camera. And if you would like to see how I apply my lashes, I will link the video down below and somewhere at the top, so please do check that out after this video. So I'm gonna put that on and we're gonna continue with our face. Okay, so my lashes and mascara on. For the mascara, I used this Essence Lash Princess. This is the false lash effect. And for the lashes that I'm wearing, I am wearing these fantasy lashes. These will also be available for you to order after lockdown, so please be patient. I mean, you can just try on your makeup with whatever lashes you currently have at the moment. So going back into the look, we are going to be using some blush just to warm up our face. So the blush that I'm using is my go-to blush, the Very Berry blush from Revlon. I'm just gonna use a blush brush and I am gonna sweep this. So I like to smile, it's easier for me to smile. Above my cheeks, and then I bring it upwards. Blush is absolutely necessary. Every girl must own a blush. If you're not a fan of like the cherry deep shades, then there is more of a peachy shade that I do advise for people to wear. It does give like your face, it does make your face look kind of a bit different. I can tell when you don't have blush on. So now for highlighter, we're going to be using the Urban Decay Mother of Dragons. I'm going to be using this shade at the end. This is called Regal. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, then you absolutely understand my my hype over these dragons. I love this highlighter. So I'm going to bring this from the... Do you see how that looks? Oh my gosh, beautiful. Okay, I want you to see the difference. This is the side with highlighter, this is the side without. Total huge difference. Glowing, not glowing, but we are staying home and glowing and looking pretty and practicing the makeup looks for the day they let us out. The day they let us out, you have to be ready. I actually want you guys to recreate this look when we come out of this. Okay, so there we go. Like a little goes a long way. Like a little of this literally does the job. So I'm gonna do that for my nose as well. I do have a brush that I use for my nose. So I'm just gonna tap the edge of my nose here just to highlight that. Highlight the bridge of my nose. Highlight that brow bone like that. And we're good to go. Now for my lips, you guys know I use a simple routine. This is like my go-to lippy. Let me just find my lipstick. So this is my current lip combo. So for lip liner, I'm going to be using the MAC Chestnut. Okay. There we go. For my lips, I am going to be using the Maybelline Ink Crayon, and this is in the shade Trust Your Gut, or for easy reference, you could just ask for number 10. I'm just gonna go over my lips. Now, the look would not be complete without gloss because the whole point is to glow. So we're going to be using this Catrice Generation Plump and Shine lip gloss. Okay, and now we are literally done with our face. All we have to do is set our face. So let me get our setting spray. So for setting spray, we are going to be using the Maybelline Lasting Fix. This is my go-to setting spray at the moment. So we're going to spray that all over. You you give that a few minutes to dry, and basically, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any watching, this is the finished look. So thank you so much. If you tuned in from the beginning till the end of this video, I really appreciate you. Don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up for me. Like, comment, and subscribe. Much love.